Something that I struggled with heavily growing up was weight. I was overweight for basically my entire life. It wasn't until like the age of 22 to 23 where I lost the weight, and it wasn't from 23 to 24 where I was, but yeah, basically from 22 to 24 was the first time where I was consistently not overweight. And the thing is, like, I knew how to lose weight. I fucking knew everything for what, 10 years before that? Like I think I started reading about how to lose weight back in fucking in middle school, right? You know, and I'd always get like fat like comments about my weight from family and occasion it wasn't really friends, but okay, like occasionally, yeah, people would joke about like Aaron is fat and all that sort of shit growing up. And I don't like resent them or anything for it. That's just how it was. You know, I'm just kind of laying the facts, which I did get made fun of sometimes. And again, I knew how to lose weight. Like I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to be in a caloric deficit, eat less than I burn, all that sort of shit. Lift weights, exercise. Like it's really not that complicated. It's really not. And you're gonna find that most most things in general just are not that complicated, at least from a operational perspective. Like you don't have to all the stuff that you need to do to create your best life is really not that fucking hard. And it's real at least or at the very least it's not complicated. It's relatively simple, right? Like if you want to become like, I don't know, a better employee, well, then do more of your work. You know, it's not that complicated. Where it does get hard is well, anyways, back to what I was saying. Um, so I knew how to lose weight, but it's like I would try for a couple weeks and a couple months, and then I'd just completely fall off, give up, and just that's how it was for shit. I mean many years, and there are even times where I did manage to lose weight. I remember I started joining the gym for the first time. I think it was 2017. Spring of 2017 when I got a gym membership for the first time. I even got personal training to kind of show me the ropes. And I ended up losing weight. I lost like 20-ish pounds. And that's that go around. But then over the course of senior year, this was senior year of it was junior year of high school, second semester, and then senior year was when I was at that lower weight. But I slowly regained it, and then I lost it again for during college. I lost like 30 pounds. Then I regained it. Literally, I regained it again. And it would be a while. It would be like that was 2020. It would be 2 years before I could actually muster up losing it again. And then shit, even in the past year, I kind of regained like 10 pounds and now I finally lost it again. So as you can see, this has kind of been a lifelong thing. And the reason why is fundamentally it's not really about tracking your calories or anything. It's an emotional, it's, or what, as a term that I've come to, it's a psycho-spiritual issue at its core. And until you can begin to address that from that angle, then you will continue to be in it's not just like being fat, it could be like being addicted to weed, right? Or hitting your vape all the time or alcohol, anything. It really is just it's really all a behavioral problem. And unfortunately, we're not really equipped to deal with these behavioral problems. Like even even putting it into words and trying to operationalize this stuff, like it's not really going to help you, right? Because it's I don't want to get too like metaphysical about it, but a lot of that stuff, it's mind stuff. And when I say mind, I mean like intellect. You're not going to read a bunch of books and then all of a sudden you are healed of all your childhood trauma, right? You can read books that help point the way, but ultimately it's up to you to actually do the stuff in those books and do the work individually, right? And sitting in those really bad thoughts or whatever that is, meditating, journaling, whatever, and working through that stuff individually. It's a very personal, very individual experience, and you're simply not going to get it off of just like listening to anyone or listening to me, right? And so it really was not the, yes, I mean, even the calories and all that sort of stuff, physically, that's what created the weight loss. But what actually got me to stick to it was, surprisingly enough, and this might just be actually very disappointingly enough, was a lot of meditation, a lot of contemplation, a lot of healing, a lot of therapy, a lot of stuff that you would think is like completely unrelated, but come think if you think about yourself as like a car, right? And you're trying to, and when you're trying to like lose weight or when you're trying to like do something in life, right? You're trying to steer the wheel, right? And it's like you're pressing the gas and for some reason the car won't fucking go forward. So what do? You try to press the gas fucking harder and you're like, fuck, why is this the gas pedal sucks when really it's you have the parking brake on or maybe deep down there's actually like some sort of problem with the engine itself, right? Maybe you haven't actually put enough fucking oil in the car and now it's fucked, right? I had my cousin do that once. They never put oil in their engine for like years, and then the car just literally just died one day, right? So the same thing might be happening with you. Is like these operational things, whatever the equivalent is for your endeavor, right? This be in a caloric deficit, be in or go exercise. These are actually the equivalent of you just like you driving on the driver's seat, right? But there's so many things behind the curtain that you actually need to address within yourself that I trust me like when you actually do that stuff, this is not just like some side quest. When you actually do that stuff, it actually makes the operational stuff really fucking easy. I mean that. Like I was able to lose like 10 pounds last month and it wasn't really that fucking hard, right? Which is crazy to me because for all my life, I would have been happy to just be able to lose 10 pounds in a year, right? So that's why it's so important to address those like behavioral th or at least not or at least be aware and know that they exist because that is like the first step is it's not going to be you trying to it's not like you're some fucking loser who just can't seem to stick to a diet or whatever. It's that there is some um unaddressed emotional spiritual issues that need to be taken care of. And only then can you begin to, and when you begin to peel back on that, can you start to realize some things about yourself and like, oh, that's why I do this. That's why it's preventing me from reaching this goal. Or maybe you realize that you never really actually cared that much to reach that goal to begin with. For example, like for me, after doing some work for my own like inner work and getting therapy, I realized, oh man, I don't actually really want to be in college. I don't, and I can choose to pick a different path than what my parents envisioned for me. And that was really scary, right? And that was really scary. Don't get me wrong. But it was only because I started doing that sort of inner work, developing that sort of at least a critical mass of sense of self that, I'm gonna be okay betting on myself no matter what. So that's my spiel. Um, if you want some resources on like what to look at, then anything by Carl Jung. There's this book. Oh, there's also this book called Inner Work. That's a good one. Um, and The Body Keeps a Score. Those are good ones. Or just look up, literally just go on Calm, the app, and just start doing any of the meditations and do that. Like I just start doing it.